man. And I respect him for that. But back then, and his stupid movies are stupid, and but that's funny to some people. You know, that stupidity gets laughs, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
control.
yeah, and he has no qualms about doing it, and talking like this, and well, you know, it's just cool. It's weird. So we didn't get along at all. But one lunchtime, we all sat in a big lunchroom, and he calls me over to his table, and he said, "Hey, Larry." I mean, he admired me for my work. That's why I was in the movie. I mean, you know, and also my friend was directing. So, you know, okay, fine. So he called me up to the table and he says, "Hey, what about this laugh that I hear you do, Larry?" Now, I did that laugh in high school. So I don't know how and I asked him, I said, "How do you know about that laugh?" And he goes, "The weasel laugh." And he goes, I'm not going to say, but do it for me. And I go, "No, I don't do that. I did that in high school. It's really stupid." He's, "Oh, come on. I hear it's funny." And he's sitting there, and I have my lunch at another table. And I said, "Look, I'm hungry. I want to go eat my lunch. You know, I'm up on the first shot after lunch." He said, "No, no, no. Come on, come on." And then all the people at his table are just like silent, waiting for me to do this because, you know, he's asking. So finally, just to get him out of my hair and go so I can, you know, finish my lunch, I go, "Okay, but I'm going to do it. But can I go back to my table?" He says, "Yeah, yeah, just do it." So I went, you know, ha ha ha. I do it, you know, with the face and everything. And he goes, and he laughs, and everybody else at the table kind of smirked. Ha ha ha. Yeah, that's funny. So he goes, "Yeah, that's really funny, Larry." And I go, "Yeah, can I go back to my table now, please?" And he goes, "Yeah, yeah, okay, thanks." I go, "Okay, goodbye." And I go back to my table. So the first shot after lunch is that scene. And we rehearsed the scene. I didn't do the laugh, you know. And then in the middle of the first take, right, you know, that's the take. That's in the movie, the first take, the only take. He goes, in the middle of the scene, he goes, "Hey, Larry, this is my girlfriend. Do that laugh." Now, 10 years I've been in improvisation. 10 years. And I've only been in movies a little while, but I know that in the middle of the take, don't screw up. I hadn't learned my lesson about walking out of the scene. You know, if you think it's going bad, walk out of the scene, because then they have to shoot the scene over. They can't use pieces of it. So anyway, I didn't know about that. Anyway, so in the middle of the scene, he said, "Do that laugh," and I thought, "Oh my God, I'm on camera. We're shooting this. It's important." So I just did it. And then that's music. But when and then the rest of the scene continues on to the end. But when the director yelled "cut," I just cursed him out. I said, "Why did you do that, man?" And then and as soon as I did that, Adam said, "Okay, we got it. Let's move on." Because he knew I wouldn't do a second take. So but they had it in the can, man. And if they had it in the can, they're going to use it. And a very famous actor who I don't remember his name now, it was years and years ago in the 60s. He told me something that I remember the rest of my life in movies, and I forgot it that day. But he told me he did that in my scene. I had the scene with this star of this sitcom or this episodic. It was a cop show. But the head of the star of the cop show. In the middle of our scene, he just turned around and he walked off camera. He just walked off set out of, and the director yelled "cut." And afterwards, after we're finished doing the scene, I went over to him and I said, "Wow, man, the first take we were doing, you just turned in the middle of the scene and you walked away. Why did you do that? That was amazing." And nobody said anything. Everybody said, "Okay, let's reset, do it again." And he said, "Because, Larry," and he was very sincere, and I know this is true. He said, "Because, Larry, if they get it on film, they will use it. They don't care, especially if you're the lead. They're trying to save money. They don't want to shoot it again." So I wasn't doing the scene very well, and I didn't feel comfortable in the scene that you're talking about, Larry. So I just turned around and walked out of the scene, which is the only way an actor has of protecting his being bad. And since if you're bad, they won't use your shop. But if I'm bad, they will use it to save money. And I don't want to do that. So